Hey, what's up, everybody? True Boxing here. Thank you for coming back to Get Hit with the Truth. So today, I want to discuss the what's next on Isaac Cruz, the lightweight contender on the rise. I'm not sure if he's going to quite break my top 10 by the end of the month, but considering he's so close and he got a nice win on June 19th, scoring a one-sided decision over veteran former champion Francisco Vargas, I wanted to throw him in and give him some love because he has done very well the last year, and especially, and he's very young, but he's just a brawler. He's a guy that comes forward and puts a lot of pressure on. Not sure how good he's going to do, but he is working his way up into title contention, and he's one of the top contenders right now for the IBF title. And I honestly believe he could fight for the vacant title if Lopez decides to give it up, or possibly fight for it sometime next year, but let's run through the top 10 and see what's next for the young not undefeated. If I said undefeated, I apologize. He suffered a loss early in his career, Isaac Cruz. So we start with Teofimo Lopez. This fight's not going to happen next. Lopez is settling up a mandatory with George Kambosos Jr., and then he has it looks like a possible rematch with Lomachenko. Maybe he moves on to do something else after that. But Lopez is definitely going to be seeking a big fight in his next one after the Kambosos fight. I don't think he's going to want to dip back to that well of, I'm just going to fight mandatories. He wants to be in big fights, and he's getting the mandatory out of the way so he can hold on to his belts, and then he's going to want to fight somebody good after that. So I don't believe Isaac Cruz is going to be on his radar. Number 2 is Vasily Lomachenko. Lomachenko, if he does not get that fight, I would say it'd be a good option, but Lomachenko probably wants a big name next. Isaac Cruz is not that. Plus, it's top rank working with, the PBC, and it's not a fight that has to be made, so I don't see this one. Then you got Gervonta Davis. Now, this is interesting. Davis comes back down. You might want to take on a brawler like Isaac Cruz to keep himself in the mix, in the hunt, and relevant for another big fight. So I wouldn't be surprised if we saw Gervonta Davis fight somebody like Isaac Cruz next. He's kind of tailor-made for him. He's staying busy, but I really do believe that Davis wants a big-name opponent. The problem is I don't know if he can get a big-name opponent to get in the ring with him. So that's going to be the interesting factor here. Is I wouldn't completely rule it out because Isaac Cruz with PBC, but does Davis want to, essentially in terms of name recognition after knocking out Mario Barrios, does he want to come back to 135 and take a guy like Cruz? I wouldn't be surprised if it happened, but I'm leaning towards the fact that he probably wants to fight somebody with a bigger name, but again, I wouldn't be surprised. So then you got Ryan Garcia, the undefeated WBC interim champion. Garcia passed on it. This is Golden Boy working with the PBC. Highly doubt that this fight's possible, so I don't see it. Then you have Devin Haney, the WBC lightweight champion. There is talks of Haney possibly getting the Lopez fight. Either way, Haney fights for Matchroom and DAZN. I don't see the PBC wasting away Cruz's eventual shot at a title by crossing the street to take on a DAZN fighter that he would come in a sizable underdog against, so I'm not seeing that fight happening. Then we look at, Jorge Linares. Linares fights for DAZN, and he's coming off the loss to Devin Haney. I would love the fight. I think it's a great matchup, Linares and Cruz, but I don't think it's going to happen. Then you got Luke Campbell. Campbell's another DAZN guy. I just don't see him taking on. He's coming off that loss. I think Campbell's moving up in weight, to be honest. I think at the bare minimum, we're going to see him fight at 140 going forward in his career. But yeah, so I don't see this fight being anything possible here. Then you look at Richard Comey, top rank. He will not work with the PBC. They make this fight. Then you got Javier Fortuna. Fortuna is fighting Joseph Diaz Jr. in a 50-50 type fight. If he were to beat Joseph Diaz, I wouldn't be surprised if Fortuna got a fight with a guy like Isaac Cruz. I wouldn't be surprised, but Fortuna is in line to fight for that title at some point. You know, so I'm hoping the winner of that fight possibly takes on Ryan Garcia or somebody, or like Jorge Linares, you know, to settle it on the DAZN side. I really think that's what they're going to try to do, but I wouldn't be surprised if him and Isaac Cruz were to lock horns. I like that matchup too. And then you look at the last couple guys on this list. You look at George Kambosos Jr. He's fighting Teofimo Lopez. If he pulls off the upset, which I don't think he will. I don't see it, but I don't believe George Kambosos, really, in my opinion, he doesn't have a good shot at winning. So I think he's going to lose that fight. I'm not even going to give the option that if he wins, because even if he were to win, I don't think he'd fight Isaac Cruz. So I don't see Cruz being in line for this. So best chance for Isaac Cruz against another top 10 guy, my opinion, is Gervonta Tank Davis. But, you know, he could just want to continue to stay busy and move forward and keep himself in line for that IBF world title shot eventually, but that's probably not going to come till next year. So if Isaac Cruz really wants to throw his balls on the table and go for broke, maybe try to get that fight with Gervonta Davis at 135 for Davis's secondary belt. We'll see what happens. But that's the what's next on Isaac Cruz, the current lightweight contender at 135. I hope you enjoyed this. True Boxing, you've been hit with the truth.